Hello everyone, welcome back. Quick question that I'm answering for you guys today. Is the Revolver more reliable than the semi-automatic handgun? Okay, and I'm not going to talk about anything else. I'm not going to talk about capacity, I'm just talking about pure reliability. Now, if you keep both guns clean in a holster, they're both going to be reliable, okay? The difference is when you put the guns in combat conditions, okay? If you take a Glock, okay, and you put it in the dirt and you cover this with dirt, okay, or you put it in the sand or mud or whatever, and you cover it, okay, and then you pick it up, the gun's gonna work, okay? And the reason why it's gonna work is because you're not getting any of that stuff inside into the working parts, okay? The Revolver, on the other hand, the working parts are exposed, okay? I'm going to hold this gun up, and as you can see daylight through that cylinder that rotates. And what's going to happen is if I put this in the dirt or the sand, and I cover this up with dirt and sand, okay? What's going to happen is that dirt and sand is going to get inside of the the cylinder. It's going to get behind it, in front of it, all over the place. And that's going to interfere with the rotation of that cylinder. Okay, it's going to interfere with the rotation, and I know because I've done it. That's the kind of training that I do. So the Revolver, see, every time you pull that trigger, that cylinder has to rotate. Okay, if it doesn't rotate, you can't shoot the gun. Okay. Which, another point is that, if you get into, let's say you get into a close-up grappling confrontation, and your attacker, basically you need to go to your gun. You pull your gun out, okay? If your attacker gets his hand on your gun, and they lock up they grab your cylinder, you cannot fire this gun, right? Right now, that hammer will not come back because that cylinder is not rotating. And it takes, basically, if you're holding the cylinder, even if you got a little bit of pressure on that cylinder, I can stop that hammer from coming back and firing this gun, because you just have a lot more leverage at this point over here versus the trigger mechanism. Okay, so you can stop this gun from firing one round just by holding that cylinder. The semi-automatic, on the other hand, okay, if once you chamber that round, right, even if somebody is grabbing this gun here, you can fire that round. Now the gun is not going to cycle. You may not get that second round off, but you might be able to angle the gun in such a way where you can get that round where you need it to go. So you have at least a one-round advantage with the semi-automatic. Now, as far as the dirt and sand, like I said, if you bury this in the dirt, stuff is not going to get into it. Now, obviously, if you're shooting the gun, basically, if you lock the gun open and now pour dirt and sand into it, obviously now stuff's going to get into places where it can jam the gun. But that would be the equivalent would be, taking the Revolver and locking this open and throwing this now in the dirt and sand. So of course dirt and sand is going to get into the inner workings. But here's the thing: when you close this cylinder, the inner workings of this gun is still exposed. Okay, and there's if above and below the cylinder, there's very little space, and that's space where like a little pebble, a little grain can get in there, and it can definitely lock up that cylinder. And like I said, I know because I've experienced these things, okay? So there are my thoughts on that. I think that's the answer to the question of, is the Revolver more reliable than the semi-automatic? And the answer is absolutely not. And that's the reason why the Army got away from revolvers as quickly as they could, okay? As soon as they had a functional, reliable semi-automatic handgun in the classic 1911, they immediately switched over to that because those are the problems that they experienced. They experienced the cylinders locking up, due to dirt and other garbage that got in there during combat conditions. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.